All right, let's talk about brick method training. This has got to be one of my new favorite models of doing strength and conditioning work, the brick method, based on density training. You guys are going to be doing this in a very different format than the weightlifting team did in the last little while. It'll look similar, but it's going to be a very different outcome. You guys are going to have a lot more work due to your guys' sport demands. So what we have right now for the next few weeks is you take a 6 RM, a 6 repetition max load, and you only do it for 2 reps. And I'm going to be coupling it with 2 or 3 exercises in between 20 and 25 minutes of work. And you do an AMRAP, so as many rounds or reps as possible of those movements unbroken inside the time that's given. Now, when you first read it on paper, it just looks like traditional strength training. It looks almost kind of boring, but it's the application of it that's so awesome. When you guys get through this, you guys are going to get a lot of rounds. You're going to get a lot of work. So what we're working on is the anaerobic alactic capacity system. Now, we worked on this from a cyclical perspective, so a high output energy system perspective. Now we're going to be working on it with loaded resistance training, and you're going to be doing it in a more localized manner, meaning we're going to be doing back squats and pull-ups as an example in a variation, or bench press and gorilla rows, whatever it might be. And these things will be constantly changing the exercises, but the energy system demands will be very, very high. So when you're completing these shouldn't be thought of in the traditional sense of strength training where you have long rest periods. You dictate the rest, but all the work must be unbroken and repeatable, okay? And because you're using a 6 RM load, but only doing 2 repetitions, you're gonna be moving fairly quickly. So there is a massive element of aerobic capacity training when we're doing this. So even though our focus from a localized perspective is anaerobic alactic capacity work, we are now going to be still getting a very, very strong aerobic stimulus. And that's why this style of training is so powerful for CrossFit athletes. I think it's very, very phenomenal to be putting in the group class for you guys. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it, and you guys are going to get as much out of this as you put into it, okay? Now, of course, when you get into some of the movements, if they're more technical, you really want to focus on quality repetitions, of course. That's going to go apply for all of them, but things like deadlifts and back squats, you keep the repetitions or you keep the execution perfect. I have a sneaky guy behind me here. Not that sneaky, but you keep the repetitions perfect while you're going through, but you make sure you rest to ensure unbroken sets while you're going through. But I want you to push the pace. This is very important. You push the pace as much as you can. And then what we're going to do over weeks, we'll repeat some of these workouts, and you just keep getting more and more work in. And that's the stimulus. That's the stressor, and that's going to be the outcome, is the ability to tolerate and build more capacity with high rep work. So if you think of CrossFit, this is CrossFit, guys, right? The ability to do a lot of work in a short period of time at a high load, okay? So this training model is going to be very, very specific to that. Then when we come out of this, we'll go into more of a traditional strength phase, walking into the monster lift off for New Year's, okay? So that's what we're going for the next little while, but have fun with the brick method, guys. It is a super cool method. Coaches will go over all the variations of it, but have fun, team. Enjoy.